Hi, boys and girls. So, welcome back. We're still working on 12.1. And so, we're looking at number two. And so, that we stopped off on our last video on number two. So, let's look at stanza two and try to identify. According to stanza two, and for number two, it says, "Who waits for the poet?" So, let's go back to our poem and read and see what it says, okay? So he said, "Where beauty stands and waits, with gravity to start her death defying leap." So where beauty stands and waits. So who waits? So who is it? Who waits for the poet? Who waits for it? Who? I sound like an owl. Who waits for the poet? What does it say? Beauty, right? Beauty. Beauty waits for the poet. So for number two, we would put beauty waits for the poet. And we got that exactly from our poem. Okay, so you're going to answer number one and number three by yourself because I want to see how amazingly smart you are. And so that's what you're going to complete on your own. Also, I want to talk about illusion. Illusion is another poetic device that we talked about a couple of lessons previous, but it's also incorporated in this poem today. And Ferrighetti calls the poet a little Charlie Chaplin man. Think back to what you know now about Charlie Chaplin. Okay, what does this allusion to the famous comic actor show us about how Ferrighetti views the work of a poet, right? And he also writes that the poet must walk across a tightrope of truth and try to catch beauty. This, of course, again, is figurative language, boys and girls. How does the poet walk through truth in more than a literal way? And how would you put this description into your own words? Also, what relationship does Ferengeti see between truth and beauty? So I want you to think about certain things and answer them here in your poem in your answer, your Google presentation, and do amazing. I know that you know these answers, and just think about it as you read through in these illusions. And again, the goal of our poem, this of our lesson, this for reading, was to identify those poetic devices. So we did. So it was illusion. We talked about what our structure. We talked about personification, simile, all of these amazing poetic devices. So what I want you to do, boys and girls, I want you to make sure that you finish and you answer this question here about structure, right? And then answer one and three. Also, I want you to type in just some answers to these questions after you have thought about them and after analyzing and reading through the poem. Okay, boys and girls? So, great job. Now you're ready to move on to your writing assignment, which I know that you're going to do awesome and amazing. Okay, bye bye until next time.